So there's this really fascinating thing happening between the UK and India right now. They're building this powerful new partnership, opening their doors for billions in trade. But at the exact same time, they're slamming them shut on people. It's a real tale of two deals. And today, we're going to unpack how two nations can be getting closer and further apart all at once. It all kind of kicked off when Britain announced its biggest ever trade mission to India. And, well, the internet just had a field day. This one comment right here really says it all. A few centuries ago, a similar crowd came via ship. You know, with just one witty line, you get the entire historical weight of this new relationship. It's a lot. And that's where we'll start, with this modern voyage that just can't escape its powerful historical echo. I mean, you can't really talk about a British trade plane landing in India without thinking about those British ships that arrived centuries ago. The context is just impossible to ignore. And the announcement itself? Oh, it was pure political theatre. You had the Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, actually speaking from the cockpit of the plane with this huge delegation of over 100 business leaders right behind him. The message couldn't be clearer. Britain is in the driver's seat, piloting a new era. It was a really bold statement. But of course, the internet immediately saw the irony. The video just blew up, flooded with these witty, sharp comparisons to another famous trade mission. You saw comments in Hindi, like the one on the screen here, which translates to "the East India Company also came like this." It's dark humor, for sure, but it perfectly captures how much the power dynamics have completely flipped. But okay, beyond all the history and the online commentary, this mission is really about one thing: money. A whole lot of it. And at the heart of it all is a landmark trade deal, one designed to tie the British and Indian economies together like never before. Okay, so the official name for this whole thing is the India-UK Comprehensive and Economic Trade Agreement, or CETA for short. And its main goal is incredibly ambitious, to nearly double the trade between the two countries from about $60 billion today to a staggering $100 billion by 2030. And this chart really puts that ambition into perspective. I mean, just look at that jump from the current $60 billion to a target of $100 billion. For the UK, especially in a post-Brexit world, a deal like this is way more than just good business. That projected boost to their GDP, nearly £5 billion, is a strategic necessity. This is a huge economic play for both nations. So how are they going to get there? Well, the key is tariffs. This chart shows you the core of the deal. A massive 99% of Indian goods, we're talking textiles, leather, all sorts of things, will now enter the UK with zero duties. And going the other way, 90% of UK exports will see their tariffs slashed. That means things like Scotch whiskey and car parts get cheaper in India. And this table gives you a sense of what that trade actually looks like on the ground. We're talking billions in gems, electrical equipment, textiles, a huge flow of goods already moving in both directions. Now just imagine a deal that's designed to supercharge every single one of these numbers. And you know, it's not just about goods, it's also supposed to be about people. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi calls the Indian community in the UK a living bridge between the two nations. But here's the paradox. While the bridge for trade is getting wider, that living bridge for people, it's getting much, much narrower. Because while the doors for all those goods are swinging wide open, the doors for people are starting to close. And this is the whole other side of the story, the new migration reality. It's the logical question to ask, right? If your economies are getting this deeply connected, you would just assume that the movement of professionals, of students, and their families would get easier too. But the answer from the UK government is a hard no. They have been crystal clear about this. This is a trade deal, period. Making visas easier wasn't just overlooked, it was deliberately kept off the negotiating table. And look, here's the direct quote from Prime Minister Starmer himself. When he was asked if this deal would mean more visas for skilled Indian workers, the answer was unambiguous. It's not part of the plan. This really signals a major split between their trade policy and their immigration policy. And this slide, wow, it shows you just how drastic the shift has been. We are not talking about small tweaks here. These are fundamental changes that are making the UK much less accessible. The path to becoming a permanent resident? It's doubling from 5 to 10 years. The minimum salary for a skilled worker visa? It has skyrocketed. And for most international students, bringing your family with you, that option is just gone. So let's just break down the 4 biggest hurdles. First, that salary threshold. A skilled worker now needs to be earning over £38,000. That's a huge jump. Second, the dependence rule means most students on one-year master's programs have to come alone. Third, the proposed wait for permanent settlement is now a full decade. And finally, the list of jobs that are even eligible for a visa is shrinking, focusing only on the highest skill levels. So this brings us to the central question. How can both of these things be true at the same time? How can a country roll out the red carpet for another's goods while basically building a higher wall against its people? This is the core contradiction of this entire partnership. And really, it all comes down to two powerful and clashing national priorities. On one hand, you have goal number one, boost global trade. After Brexit, the UK desperately needs these big deals with huge, fast-growing economies like India. But on the other hand, you have goal number two, cut net migration. Back home, there's immense political pressure to bring immigration numbers down. And so this is what you get, a relationship defined by a fundamental paradox. The UK is actively chasing deep economic integration with India, while at the very same time making it harder for the very people who power that integration, the professionals, the students, the innovators, to actually move between the two countries. And this quote from a recent UK immigration minister really highlights the tough domestic climate there. The political focus is so squarely on controlling borders, and that feeling is driving visa policy for everyone, even for citizens of a country they're calling a key new trade partner. And this leaves us with a huge question, because this UK-India story, it isn't an isolated case. It's really a preview of a growing global trend. As nations try to get all the economic benefits of globalization while putting up walls to migration, we really have to ask, what does the future of partnership even look like? What does it truly mean to be partners if it's only about the stuff we sell and not about the people who create it?